Peter Dawson, thank you very much for joining me. First of all, congratulations on receiving your Lifetime Achievement Award here at the HSBC Golf Business Forum. What an honour that must have been, and particularly receiving it from someone like Matteo.
Great thrill for me, and awards in this business are not for solo efforts. So many other people were involved in everything we've done at the R&A. We have a wonderful staff, we have wonderful volunteers and committee members, but to receive the award in front of so many people in golf who love the game was a thrill. And from Matteo Manassero, who I've known since he was 16, since he won the amateur championship at Formby and then helped us get golf in the Olympics, and now embarked on a fantastic professional career. Yeah, that was just marvellous.
And what are you making of the week here for the Golf Business Forum?
I think the subject matter that's being covered is hugely relevant to the game and how we must go forward in terms of technology, in terms of media. We're going to hear much more tomorrow, I know, of these matters. And to see so many people here from all around the world taking these messages back to golf in their country or their businesses can only be of huge benefit.
And of course, it's actually quite coincidental timing, but you're receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award on the back of a huge announcement that you're leaving us and stepping down from your post at the R&A next year. Why have you made that decision now?
Well, there's a while to go yet, and it'll be business as usual, I assure you, to next September. I'll be 67 then, so I think that's probably just above retirement age, and time for someone new to take over the helm, I'm quite sure. I've had a fantastic 16 years at the R&A. Very interestingly, each of my 3 predecessors did 16 years as well, complete fluke. But it must feel it's time to go at the end of 16 years. Been a marvellous privilege to have the job and to be able to work in this wonderful game.
Well, you've done some fantastic work during that time. What would you say has been your highlight during your time at the R&A?
It's difficult to pick particular things. I've enjoyed every Open Championship we've had. That's the big week of the year for us, but getting golf back into the Olympic Games is an obvious highlight. And I think the way we've handled the technology issue, actually, not everyone agrees with where we are, but keeping that balance between technology and skill in the game has been an ongoing work, actually, year on year on year, and I think we've come to about the right place.
Well, starting with your first answer then, what's been your personal highlight from your work involved in the Open Championship each year?
Well, actually, I think maybe it was my first one, which was St Andrews 2000. The previous year I was on the payroll at the R&A, but Sir Michael Benalek was still the secretary, so I was on training when the Open was at Carnoustie. But in 2000, we ran this wonderful past champions event, where they played 4 holes at St Andrews, the 1st, 2nd, 17th and 18th, and we had Sam Snead there, we had Jack Nicklaus, we had Seve, we had Nick Fowler, we had Roberto Di Vincenzo, we had all these great names from the past. 38,000 people turned out that evening, on Wednesday, to watch these 4 holes. And it was just a great occasion in the most beautiful evening of sunshine. And I mean, it was great to meet all these people in one place. Lee Trevino, I remember, was there as well. And that was a thrill, and what a first Open it turned out to be, with Tiger winning it, of course, in the millennium year.
Now, as for the IGF and your role in terms of getting golf back into the Olympics, you're due to retire from the R&A in 2015, but will you continue your work with the IGF until 2016?
Yes, the IGF board have very kindly extended my term as president to the end of 2016, so that'll be post the Olympic Games in Rio, so I'll be in the hot seat for that, and much looking forward to it.
And what will your focus of your preparations be the next couple of years between now and retirement, and then indeed between now and the Olympics?
Well, there's a lot to do for the Olympic Games. Of course, it's Rio 2016's responsibility to produce the venue. We have a wonderful design from Gil Hans down there on a very good site, very sandy-based site, very close to the Olympic Village. Progress, as everyone knows, on construction has not been quite what we were looking for, but it's accelerating now. We're getting much better reports back from there. I was down there in January, and we had another contingent down there since. And it is beginning to accelerate. I'm increasingly confident that we're going to have a wonderful golf course in good time. But of course, getting the qualification system well understood by the players, the anti-doping system, nationality policy, all sorts of things in the Olympic world that don't always apply in week-to-week golf have to be catered for. But we have a wonderful executive director in the IGF, and Anthony Scanlon, who came from the IOC, so he's guiding us through these things with great expertise.
And what are your views on the format that's going to be played at the Olympics?
Well, if you go back to the format is, first of all, 72-hole stroke play for men, 72-hole stroke play for women, 60 players in each field. And the reason that we went for that format was that when we were bidding for golf to be in the Olympics, we had to be sure that we had the support of the players. The IOC were very keen to know that the golfers would turn up and play. So when we consulted many of the players, they felt that 72-hole stroke play, just as with the major championships, is the way to determine a champion. And so that was the choice that we went with. For future years, who knows? Can we get some more team element into it? Can we get some match play into it? We'll have to wait and see. But for this Games, it was very important to go with what the players wanted, and that's what we did.
But am I right in thinking that the future years isn't necessarily a certainty yet for golf in the Olympics?
Well, 2020 is, but in 2017 there's going to be a review, not just of golf, but the whole Olympic sports programme for 2024 onwards, and that's why it's very important we put up a good show in 2016 in Rio.
So other than the Olympics, what are your main focuses for the rest of your time in your post at the R&A?
Well, I think actually finding and introducing whoever my successor may be to this job, which has a huge breadth of issues in it, a huge breadth of type of work. And I think I'm going to be really, once my successor is identified, concentrating on that, introducing him or her to all the people in the game that they need to know around the world.
What qualities will you be looking for in your successor?
Well, I think we'll probably find someone completely different from this, so don't hold me to it. But I think it has to be someone who appreciates and loves the game of golf primarily. Commercial experience is very useful. Being comfortable internationally, socially, is hugely important. Must have a capacity for very hard work. Be respectful of tradition, but responsive to change as well. And yeah, it's just hard to pick a name, but we do have good people working on this now, and we'll just have to see what happens.
And a good golfer?
I think it helps. Yeah, I think it helps to appreciate to be able to speak to the top players and understand their concerns, and understand how the Open has to be set up and so on. I think that is a very important part of the game.
Now, I can't let you go without quickly asking you about the amateur side of the game, which has developed hugely under your tenure in this position. How proud are you of that development?
Well, I'm hugely proud of it, because I think amateur golf around the world has come on enormously. It's not so long ago that just one or two countries dominated the amateur scene. That's no longer true now. Very proud of how our Great Britain and Ireland Walker Cup team has shared the spoils with America in my tenure. We've had 4 wins each, which is wonderful given the history of the event. And but it's great to see the continental countries in Europe coming on so well, and the Asian countries coming through strongly now too. It's truly a worldwide game.
And what about this question of potential women may be admitted to the Royal Ancient Golf Club? There's a vote, I believe, that's going to happen in September. What are your views on that, and what may or may not happen? Well,
I think that the General Committee of the R&A has been right to recommend this to the members. I think the situation in St Andrews has a very long history. The golf courses are open to the public. Men, women, young, old, domestic, foreign have total access to the golf course. There are actually 5 private clubs in St Andrews. 3 are all men, 2 are all women who share the courses. So these things have a very long history, and the clubs interact very well. But I think in the R&A's case, being a governing body for the game, it's incumbent on the R&A to make this change. And I hope that the members vote this through in September, but it is a matter for the members.
And what legacy do you hope to leave them, and what work do you think they have to do for the R&A over the next decade or so? Well,
we don't have a cult of personality at the R&A. It's an ongoing process. We're just renting space, to be honest with you, and I'm sure the next incumbent will take the thing on to heights that haven't been achieved before, and I wish whoever it is extremely well.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations, but enjoy the next year or so.
My pleasure, Cara. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.